Today, I really just want to share with everybody some simple studying techniques, how to study effectively. The first thing I want everybody to do here is to create clear, achievable goals. When you are an intermediate or advanced student, my recommendation is you set clear, achievable goals for every lesson. So for example, you might take a video or a few videos about one topic, and you might say, after these videos, one specific goal I have is to be able to discuss this topic. So be specific. What topic do you want to be able to discuss? This is just important so that you feel motivated. You want to feel like you're making progress. So I have some very specific topics: barbecue, inflation, Korean elections, mindfulness in daily life. If your goal is to acquire vocabulary, is your goal to understand that vocabulary in reading and listening, or to use it in speaking and writing? It's good to be clear because the studying techniques will be a little bit different. When you want to study to understand something, it's different than studying to use it. So make sure you're clear. What skill are you trying to practice? And this can change. Maybe 1 week is focused on listening, the next is on speaking, the next is on reading, the next is on writing. This can change every few weeks, but just make sure when you're studying, you always set a goal you can accomplish in 1 or 2 weeks. That way you can always measure how are you getting better. The last bubble here is register. Register is a bit of a difficult idea. I've seen the translation 语言风格, but I don't really like that translation very much. Basically, register means the style of the language depending on different environments. So the kind of English you use will be different. You know, the language you use at work versus at home versus at school versus in the hospital versus anywhere else. It's all different kinds. So make sure when you study, you know what register you're studying. Many Taiwanese students, they also have this issue where they put really interesting words together. They use really complicated words and really simple sentences, and sometimes it sounds a bit funny. That's a register problem. You should pay attention. What is the register of the words that you are studying? So then the kind of content you choose will be different based on your goal for register, right? If you want to learn how to talk at meetings, watch videos about meetings. Watch videos where they talk about meeting goals or watch meeting recordings. If you want to learn how to make jokes, watch stand-up. Choose your content based on your goals. So I want to first talk about the difference between extensive and intensive listening. Extensive listening has to do with trying to listen to English just because you enjoy it. You're not trying to understand every single word. And this can be something beneficial, especially for keeping up your motivation. For me, a long time ago, 甄嬛传 was my extensive listening for Chinese. I watched it not because I wanted to learn all the words, and maybe there are words I didn't know, but it just kept me interested. I really enjoyed it. It's not very good for learning to speak, modern Chinese. They have a very unique style of speaking, but I really enjoyed it. And when I watched it, it made me want to keep studying. So that's the goal of extensive listening. Now, my main suggestion, especially for intermediate learners, turn off the Chinese subtitles. Turn on English subtitles. If you turn on Chinese subtitles, you get no benefit. All the benefits stop because you're not even trying to listen to the English anymore. If you read the English while you listen to the English, you at least get some benefits for your listening and for your reading. So at the very least, make sure you always use English subtitles. Now, this is all extensive listening. I'm going to talk a little bit about intensive listening for trying to improve your listening with short form content. So for me, just for an example, I have been practicing using Instagram Reels. I set a very specific goal. My goal for Chinese was to understand 连音 better. Because when Taiwanese people 连音, I can't understand anything. So I use a lot of Instagram Reels. And if your goal is to understand natural, fast, native speech, Instagram Reels is perfect. So there's a 3-step process that you can use. In the first step, I want you to write down everything you can hear in the video. And if you can't understand what they say, then write down the letters and the sounds that you hear. So hopefully you only do about 1 minute of content, because even 1 minute, when you write down everything, it will take a long time. Then, and important, make sure the video has subtitles. after you try to write down everything you hear, then look at the subtitles and I want you to correct all of your mistakes, okay? Any places where you wrote down question marks, fill them in, see what the characters are. I want you to study that, and then I want you to listen again without notes. The goal is at the end, you should be able to listen to the full 1 minute without notes, okay? So this was just an example I had done with Chinese before. I used an Instagram reel. I wrote down everything I could hear. There was a place where here I couldn't really understand it at all. I thought she said something like 来 and 确认. I didn't really know. I couldn't understand. And when I listened, I realized she just said 第一次. But literally, write down what you think you hear, okay? Every place you're not really sure. So down here, I really heard her say something like 这件顺, but it ended up being 最近的兴趣是. And she just said it so quick. She said it so fast that I ended up only hearing bits and pieces. So this is a really effective way to try to improve your listening every day with slow steps.